Back to the Dacha. I'm going to try and film better today in this aspect instead of straight up and down, vertical. Um, Today I have a couple things to do. We're going to not bury, but plant some blueberries. And these are them. They're little ones. They different varieties, and they'll go right about here. And you'll see how they do. These are the wild grape, not wild, but a grape, and another grape. I don't know what this thing is, but I think I'm going to cut it out today. It's going a little bit crazy. Um, this will clean up. Just clean up this spot in the yard here. There's another grape which needs to be trained, cut back and trained. This plant or tree, and this is the bigger grape who's already trained up. Basically, these other tree grapes that I showed you will end up looking like this. Uh, the people who owned this place before, they said they're very good grapes. So we'll see when the spring comes. Uh, for now, And there we go. One thing ticked off my list for today. If you're blueberry people, this one is blue gold, Spartan, and Chandler. And if you're wondering why I left the buckets there, because they find how what they are in the spring, because I will forget. And we'll see how they do. I don't know how I did. I'm not a blueberry person. I hear that they're very finicky, but we'll see in the spring if they're still around. Also, what I planted, but I forgot to film, was last week when I was here. Some not cherry, peach trees. So these are good for this climate. Peaches, they're a bare root. Chickens been over here, and neighbors' chickens. Two, this is an apple. It looks so good. I'll fertilize them up in the spring. I think it's another. No, it's not an apple. I don't know what this is either. And here's the other peach tree. So these are like a cold, hardy variety. They're flat peaches. They're round. They're not round like you get out of Georgia. I've had them. They're very good. Got a little pit. And they're really easy to eat because they're small. And we'll see how these do. They haven't fallen over and they don't look dead after a week. I'll give them here a little bit of water here today also. And so necessity being the mother of invention and the necessity being coffee, I found a way to heat up a cup of water for coffee. There's no power. There is no gas or water on this property, just electric. So I had this like sterno little oven that my father-in-law gave me, but it dried out. So a tea candle should do the trick. We'll find out. It's been going for a couple minutes, and it's just that the water's cold. So now it's at room temperature. But I got a couple projects to do today. That's why I got my water here. I'm bringing it from the city in a 19-liter, or I think it's 5 gallons, 19 liters. Mini project is to hang this so people can't see that no one's here. No one is not here, or see what I don't have in here. The other project, mini project, is to get rid of this delightful chandelier because, well, we're not the Rockefellers. It works. It's just ugly. And what I'll replace it with is this little LED light. It fits right up here on the beam. It's almost perfect, like it was made to fit. And should give a little bit more light in here. Not that we're going to be staying the night here for a while, but that's it for inside. It's the two things I want to do inside. Maybe three. I might replace this light bulb because you can see it works, but the base is rusted out. And our next project is going to be bigger. Some things I wanted to do, but I'm not going to be able to do today, which is I wanted to run a tarp over the top of the roof because there's a hole and I don't need water getting in. It hasn't been raining, but when it snows, it will melt and go into the house. These are, as we said before, raspberry. I'm going to cut these back today. Maybe trim on some of the lower branches off this walnut. Got these raspberries out. I don't have a saw. I got to pick one up, hand saw at least. So I'm gonna take this branch off this apricot tree. Before I called it a pear, but it's, and I called it a peach, and I called it a pear and an apple, but it's an apricot. This one we know is an apple from Lita pulling her apple off there. And I wanted to tarp because I wanted to tarp up this back to keep it from getting more wet. And some of these seams have small, pinhole leaks. But there's a hole up here somewhere. When you throw a tarp over it, it will at least keep it dry. And they can run the tarp down and would protect this. It's MDF. It's not good. It's got a here. We had this before, like this spray foam. It's everywhere. And that might be, it's bowed out, and that might be why it's bowed out, because the spray foam will push stuff out. The chicken coop, which will come down. And we said this was, we didn't know what this little lean-to off the chicken coop was, but according to the plans, this was, that we finally, we got some technical documentation is what they call it. This was the summer kitchen. Can't build that right now. That's just a wood storage. And this was a veranda. This was a door. And that was blocked off. And according to the plans, this was a veranda. I don't know what that means for Ukraine, but it's not what I think of when I think veranda. These, I'm going to trim these back. Cut all these back. My neighbor and our chickens. And I'm going to try and cut all this, but I doubt I will get it done today. But it has to be done because if I don't cut it, it's just going to be mice running rampant. Crazy. And I have a fence, so I have 2 cats, as everybody knows, or most people know. And they murderers of small things. I know Jack is, but Lucy, she's never been outside, but she's really interested in birds. So there's the other peach. I don't know what this little tree is, but by the looks of the leaves, I think it's an apple. I don't know. Again, we'll find out next year in the spring, along with this one. But they need some trimming and training. I think this is an apple. I don't know how he's gonna make it back or just be dug up. And shut the gate. Thought these were 2 good buckets, but they're all rusted out, of course. I don't know what is with the bucket of mud. I guess it's clay. I guess it's this stuff. The render, the clay. I keep saying mud, but it's clay. And if it stays dry, it works. The problem is, it's not staying dry. Sort of gutters to catch rainwater, but I have to clean this out. I'll clean up this this yard too a little bit today. I'm just gonna move this because I saw that the fence was falling, and I propped it up. It's like a, I don't know what that is. It's tire. I don't know why they would dig a pit to put trash in. Who knows? Unless my father-in-law says there's he called and they say there's water on this. They say on the street, so it's available. There's a water main that runs here. But I'll have to find out about hooking it up. But that might be, once I get in there and clean it out, I might find out what that is. Unless it's just, well, I hope I don't find out it was a toilet. An outhouse. That would be nasty. Let's see. How's my water doing? Warm. Not bad. That's my coffee. That'll be good. So, okay. Okay, so one small job done. So it'll protect that curtain up without knocking the window out of the wall. Is a bonus. And get this up. It's not perfect by any means, but it's temporary. It's much brighter than this thing was. What? The light bulb's good because I just put it in not too long ago. But it does brighten up the room quite a bit. So it'll be nice at night if when we start staying here. It's a good size. It fits that beam. Maybe. Wasn't very much. I think $10. I might get another one, and then we'll have two. So when we are in here, or we do stay over, we'll have light in there. And on top of that, water's hot. It's time for coffee. And then in the break, I'm putting this together. It's a weed whacker, or strimmer, or powered by Germany. Something like that. But I'll put this together, and I'll get to work on the outside. See how much I can get done.